Hi everybody, it's Mallory Donahue from the Self-Sewn Wardrobe Facebook group, and I don't have my computer set up today with the microphone because I thought this might be a little difficult, kind of a difficult episode to record while I'm going to be turning to and from the machine, etc., etc. And so today we are going to talk about knee lifts on sewing machines, and I've got the Baby Lock Jane here. She's a machine with a knee lift, and I'll take the knee lift out. Got it here to show you. So if you're joining us this morning, say hello. Hi, Eric. Hi to Betsy. Good to see you all. And I just will start out our broadcast with a little funny story. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Lonnie. And Becca put on the group that she has a tub of unfinished projects and that she accidentally made a typo. Hi to Ruth and Riley and Kim and Mary. She labeled her tub the tube of shame versus the tub of shame. She made a typo, and so we were all kind of like laughing about it, ha ha ha. But I have a really, really funny story about a typo on a label too. Hello, Sandy and Marisa. And Sharon. Sharon says she loved the Serger workshop. She got to come this weekend on Friday night and Saturday. I think we all had a really good time. Hi, Amanda. Okay, so you'll see this green dress in the shop back here. I actually didn't even plan on it being there, but it is there. And that dress is made out of silk dupioni, okay? D-U-P-I-O-N-I is how you spell that. And we had we had an employee who made a sign. We were selling silk dupioni at the time, and she made a sign for the silk dupioni, but instead of starting it with a D, she started it with a P. And so anyway, it was up in the shop as silk pupioni for I think a few days maybe before Mom or I noticed or something. And this was when I think maybe I was in high school or college, so I wasn't in the shop like all the time, you know. And then, so, oh my gosh, so funny, silk pupioni, right? And we take the sign down, but we leave it up in the back because it's hilarious that somebody made this sign, silk pupioni, right? Well, later on, yet another employee comes and she's like, this sign was back here. What is this? We're like, haha, silk pupioni. And we didn't realize she didn't know what was going on. And she actually put the sign back out in the shop. And so we had silk pupioni again. And I don't know where that sign is right now. I think maybe we gotten rid of it to assure no confusion. Okay, so it looks like we've got 20-something people watching, so I'm happy to have you all. And my funny story took up a little bit of time there. But let's talk about knee lifts, okay? So I've got the Baby Lock Jane here. There are lots of machines out there on the market, not only Baby Locks, not just sewing machines either. Sometimes there are sergers that have knee lifts. But a knee lift in present day sewing terminology is a little device that kind of goes into your machine. I hesitate to say plug in. It doesn't really plug in. This is just like a piece of metal that goes into this mechanical device here on the machine, and it sort of locks in place. And what the knee lift does is when it is pushed over to the right, it raises the presser foot. Does everybody see that? It's going on right here. This is a pretty hard shot to get. And that's why I was about a minute late this morning. I was trying to get myself and the knee lift and the machine and everything all in the shot. So I might mess around with my table a little bit here as I show you how it works. But a couple of people were asking in the group, and I get this question in the store as well. They'll say, why do you want a knee lift instead of a foot control? Or they will ask, or they'll say, oh, my grandma had a knee lift on her machine and I hated it. I hated having to run the machine with my knee. Okay, so a little background on what this knee lever used to mean in sewing machine land. Some older machines, they'd come with a foot pedal, but the foot pedal would actually get bolted inside the cabinet, okay, on the side here, and you would use a knee lever that actually hit the foot pedal, or it would hit like a button. And this foot pedal was actually removable. It could be on the side here, or it could be put on the ground. And I've had people come in and say, just tell me what it costs to convert my machine from knee power to foot power. I'll pay anything to convert it from foot power to knee power, okay? And so I say, well, you're in luck, because there's probably just a couple set screws holding this foot pedal on the side, and you can just take it off and put it on the floor, okay? Now, in modern day, sewing machine mechanics, I don't know of any that are sort of like sold domestically in the US that are knee powered, okay? It could be possible. I don't want to say like it's never going to happen or anything, but when we say knee lift, okay, that's different. You never would have called, the knee powered machine a knee lift, okay? As the knee lift is what raises your presser foot. I believe that Bernina was the first company to come out with this system for raising the presser foot. And it's called, in Bernina land, a freehand system, or FHS, okay? Bernina held the patent on it for a long time, and other sewing machine companies would do things like try to retrofit like a device that went around and actually raise the presser from the back when you're using your knee. Nowadays, some sewing machine companies have mechanics where I think you can raise the presser foot actually with the foot pedal or something like that. So anyway, there's lots of different mechanics, but to me, the knee lift is sort of irreplaceable. And so on the Jane here, she's fully mechanical, okay? There's no like computer screen, there's no electronics really to her, okay? She does have a thread cutter and a needle down function, but the knee lift, truly, when this piece of metal is inserted in the machine, it moves a mechanism that then it goes all the way up through here and raises the presser foot. On some of our electronic or computerized machines that are out on the market now, the knee lift goes in like this, but instead of it actually being like physically connected to something that raises the presser foot, it's electronic. So you're doing this, but really what you're doing is you're flipping a little switch, and you might notice a slight delay. Okay, so like on the Baby Lock Destiny, their top of the line sewing and embroidery machine, I hit that knee lift and it takes just a millisecond, and then the presser foot will go shh, okay? Whereas the mechanical ones actually can be a little more responsive. Do you see this full range of motion? Now, I might be confusing a few of you who have never seen one of these knee lifts before because I'm moving it with my hand, but that's because I'm going to have to turn and face the machine in order to demonstrate it for you. And so I would put my foot pedal on the floor, and I would sew at my machine, probably not, at an angle on my table, but in order to show you, this is my right knee right here, and then when I'm gonna knock the machine off the table. When I do this, it raises the presser foot, okay? So if I am sewing along, and I have a big bulky, a quilt, a sleeve that I need to pivot around or something like that, I can sew along and then use my knee lift and move my fabric underneath here, okay? So my needle is down, and I didn't really have anything that I was sewing on that was curved or anything like this, okay? So hi, Sarah says she's never heard of this. Sarah's an old friend, and you must know about knee lifts if you're going to be my friend, Sarah, okay? So the knee lift will help you raise the presser foot and lower it. I can't sew without one. Mom won't sew without one. She says she gets, what did she say in the group? She says, I won't sew without a knee lift. Oh, she just joined in the broadcast. Okay, she says, I don't like to sew without a knee lift or something like that. Mom gets so angry. If we set up a machine in here, you all have seen me set up the Sophia for live broadcast because she's nice and small. If there's a Sophia in here and Mom has to sew at it with no knee lift, she gets pretty angry, pretty not like intolerable, but she just, might throw a little bit of a fit. So when ZD's around, if you want her to sew for you, you best have a machine that has a knee lift on it, okay? So we all know that when we're sewing and we pivot, we can sink our needle down, we can use the knee lift to move everything, and this just makes it so both of your hands are free to manipulate your fabric, okay? Instead of having to take a hand off the fabric to put it behind your foot or to the side to raise the foot, wherever it is. Sandy and Amanda ask if ZD gets sweary or stabby. Yes and yes, okay? Debbie says, love the knee lifts on my Berninas, but I don't always remember to use them. I have been missing out. Yes, if you have a knee lift on your machine, the next time you sit down to sew, just put it on there, okay? Put the knee lift on there, and every time you're about to raise your hand off, okay, to lift the presser foot, use your knee lift, even when you're finished sewing. Sometimes the Berninas have the heel tap where you tap on the heel and it raises the needle, or if you raise your needle up or use a thread cutter or something like that, then when you go to take your project out of your machine, just raise your knee lift and take it out. You don't have to actually use your hand to raise your presser foot, okay? You can use your knee lift, okay? Kim says, do you know if Brother has this option? Yeah, I'm sure on some of their machines. Now, it's like sort of a premium feature for all brands. It won't be on like, your $99 machine, your $199 machine. It's not on the Sophia, and she's nationally advertised to be on sale for $5.99 a lot. So you're just going to see it in the higher levels. Oh, and Betsy says my brother 1250D has it. So yes, it's I believe it is now available on all brands, even though back in the day it was exclusive to certain brands. And Ruth says it's nice to be able to raise the presser foot a tiny bit with the knee lift. Yes. The other thing, if you do have a mechanical knee lift, this is something you want to keep in mind, and it's a little hard for me to show, but if you have a mechanical knee lift on a mechanical machine, and this includes the Ovation Serger, okay, make sure that how you are seated, you're not accidentally raising up the presser foot a little bit with your leg. So make sure that, how you're seated, you're directly in front of the machine, and you're not accidentally putting a little bit of pressure on the knee lift, because we all know that when your presser foot is up, your tension discs are open. And I think somebody posted a picture, and I think it's the the Janome sort of like version of the Jane, and they raised their presser foot and lowered it and took a picture before and after, and you can see on the tension discs on this machine really well. I know I took the covers off the Sophia to show it to you, because I know a lot of you have machines sort of similar to that, like computerized, machines, but look at that tension disc move right on the front of the machine. It goes back and forth, and so we raise our presser foot. Not only does it give us the ability to move our fabric, but it does release those tension discs. So just a word of advice about that. And this is what a knee lift looks like, or it can look a little different than this. Sometimes they'll have plastic here. Sometimes they won't have like a wider thing like this. They'll just go straight out and have like a rubber sort of coating on them or something like that. But your knee lift is your friend. If you don't have one, it's not like I think that you're going to never be able to sew well or anything like that, but they do save you an incredible amount of time. And as I have been emailing and advising people on machines, a lot of times if they say that they're very, very serious about garment sewing and that they want to get a machine that they will have for a real long time, maybe they're kind of ready to kind of splurge a little bit, okay? I'll tell them at least to start off with the Baby Lock Catherine, because it has a knee lift, okay? Now, I love the Sophia. It's a great price point. It's got a little bit of embroidery, and it is so much machine for your money. The one thing it doesn't have is a knee lift, and so that's something that we really, really love, okay? But if you are looking for a new machine, this is something to consider. It's something to ask about, to factor into your wants, needs, price, web, okay? So you need to take that into account as you're shopping for machines. And like I said, We love Madame Sophia. She's super cute. She's super lightweight. She's easy to travel with. But if I was stuck on a desert island and I could only have one sewing machine, I would choose something with a knee lift for sure. I have to have it when I'm, especially I just think about setting in sleeves. That's what I think about most often. Anyway, Julie says she had the problem where she was accidentally hitting the knee lift and she tried again, and it can take a little bit of getting used to, so make sure you're not accidentally hitting that knee lift. And then if you have one of these at home and you're not using it, I implore you, I don't care what you get out some sample fabric or something, and just pivot a few times or try to sew around a curve, and every time you would want to raise your presser foot with your hand, do it with your knee, okay? I think you will be pleasantly surprised at what the knee lift does for you. And I think that we have heard some statistics, like a knee lift saves you 30% of your sewing time or something like that. And of course, I don't really know what sort of study was done to find that, but it's for sure that when there is like a Sophia here and I'm sewing on it, or and there's another machine, if I'm trying to get a garment done, I always go for the one with the knee lift because I am able to do all that pivoting and everything with my knee, okay? And if you're resistant to the knee lift, if you're like, well, that's great, Mallory, but I still hate it, please try it. Give it a try, especially if you already have one at home. Don't let it lay there unused and unloved. It wants to help you, okay? It wants to help you be a more successful stitcher. All right. So that's my little thing on knee lifts, and we are going to, I think on the list of Sewing Out Loud podcasts is knee lift and thread lift to discuss. So we will be releasing a Sewing Out Loud podcast about those two sewing tools in the near future, and you can get more of Mom's input on it. Okay, so that's going to finish up my live broadcast for today. It is going to be 60 degrees here in Columbia today. So I'm going to take an opportunity to get a little bit of work done, but then I am going to try and play outside a little bit today. I'm not even wearing socks. It's so warm. See that? Oh, price tag still on the bottom of my shoe. Okay. Well, I hope you get something sewn today, and I look forward to seeing you all again on Wednesday. And welcome to all of our new members. We've got quite a few members in the past few days, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but I believe it's Marvell. She said hello and that this is her first live broadcast, and it's fabulous to have you. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later.